The 6th generation Taurus just received a minor facelift for 2013. So how does it stack up against the bullish sedan market competition? Let's find out. Well, the Taurus might have had some scary past relatives in its photo album, but this one looks modern and fresh. I like the fact that you can easily pick it out of the crowd, and it's easy to know it's the Ford Taurus. It's not really a paradigm shifter, but it should appeal to the masses, and overall I think it's a nice design. For the interior, you'll find a similarly modern look. The optional leather seats are soft and comfortable, and I also like the white stitching that sets them off a little bit. That pattern is echoed in the armrest/storage. You get a tray with a coin holder and pretty deep storage too. There's a place for your SD card and also 2 USBs, which is nice, plus a charger. Moving forward, you can see that Microsoft powers the sync, which is also paired with the My Ford Touch. I like the fact that these are actually closed, so you can hide all the junk you have inside of them. 2 cup holders there, and plenty of storage here as well, plus a bit more storage up front here, another charger, and of course here you have the 6-speed automatic transmission stalk. You can go ahead and put it into sport mode and shift it by hand if you like. A little bit quirky, but you can do it with your thumb. Moving up the dash, you have a place to pop your trunk there on the opposite side. That's your optional push button start. Here's your ventilation controls and also of course your radio controls. And they have these kind of buttons here that you press, and it takes a little getting used to at first, but they are easy to use once you learn them. And they've also made some changes here on the infotainment screen, separated into 4 zones, one for your phone, one for your navigation, one for your climate, and one for your entertainment. And when you go ahead and select one, then you can see the whole big picture. It takes a little bit of getting used to, and it's a little deep, but it is easy to use and easy to master. The instrument cluster is set up into 3 parts. In the center you have your speedometer. On the left there's some information which you can control and change, and on the right here you have information about your radio. So it's a lot of information, and you can customize it too. On the steering wheel is actually where you can control those menus. Underneath that you have the cruise control, and over here you have your Bluetooth and also more menu controls here. So overall I think Ford's done well here. It's sleek, it's modern, pleasing to look at, and very functional too, which is, after all, the most important thing. Out back you get your own vents and also your own charger, cup holders on the side, and seating for 3 across. You can also fold down the armrest here for 2 more cup holders. Popping the trunk reveals a very large area for storage, and of course if that's not enough, the rear seats do fold down with a 60-40 split. My front-wheel drive SEL test car is powered by a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. It produces 240 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 takes 8.2 seconds. Fuel economy is rated at 22 miles per gallon in the city and 32 miles per gallon on the highway. You can expect 26 miles per gallon overall. So the Taurus starts out at $28,800. You'll probably want to add things like the Preferred Package 202A, which adds 19-inch alloy wheels, ambient lighting, also push-button start with remote, and something I really like, the adjustable pedals. They really help you get comfortable, and by the time you add the $1,500 leather package and $1,000 navigation package, and of course you'll want to add the 4-cylinder engine. What? Add the 4-cylinder engine? That costs more? Yes, the EcoBoost engine actually costs $1,000 more. It's a $995 option. So Ford obviously values the engineering that went into their EcoBoost engines, and they give you the 6-cylinder as standard. So you'll have to upgrade to the better fuel economy. Kind of interesting, but I guess it makes a lot of sense. They spent a lot of money developing it, so they may as well charge for it. Plus 32 miles per gallon on the highway in a 2-ton car is actually pretty impressive. So fully loaded, you're finally out the dealer door at just a tick over $35,000. Now there's plenty of great sedans out there, including the Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, Mazda 6, just to name a few. And what really makes the Ford stand out? Well, I think the Ford has a lot going for it, especially here in America. It is American made, and they've got a very long history. In fact, if you'd like, you can watch my test drive of the Model T Ford, and that shows you just how long Ford's been in the game since the beginning. So there's a lot of pride in America with Ford, and that shows in the marketplace. Even though a lot of the others are now made in America too, still Ford, even though it has moved itself into being a world car these days, is still very much an American maker. And I think the fact that Ford has really upgraded their tech in these cars has really made them competitive and also stand out a bit. The My Ford Touch and the Sync really help you control things much easier and in a more modern way. And I also like the fact that they've made it future compatible. You'll be able to upgrade this system in the future, and that's great. So when you get out on the open road and you're looking to have a bit of fun with the Taurus, well, the 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine is probably not the one you want to have, but it does have adequate power, and actually I think that with its 4,000 pounds, it does take a turn very well indeed. And actually, since it's set up really for the 6-cylinder power and the SHO, I think that anything you can throw at this car with the 4-cylinder, it can handle with no problem. Of course, if you want to have a bit of fun and increase the power and handling, you're going to go with the 6-cylinder, and you'll probably go with the SHO if you really like to drive the back roads. But the EcoBoost 4-cylinder equipped Taurus is certainly adequate. If you rather shift it yourself in sport mode here, well, then you can see the tachometer and also the gear you happen to be in at the time. Checking out the night look here on the Taurus, and I've got to say, with the ambient lighting, it's really cool. And that color is carried over to the dash here, and the infotainment screen is easy to see, and the gauge cluster looks awesome, so A+ on the night look. So there was a time in not so recent automotive history that the American manufacturers, in my opinion, definitely lag behind the foreign makers. But now I think the American manufacturers really are just as good, and in some cases better, than the foreign manufacturers out there. You know, Ford has come a long way, and they've really upped the game with this Taurus. They've given it a lot of great technology, and it's still a very comfortable car, and it's still a very spacious car, and it still basically gives you everything you want in a sedan, including safety, great fuel economy, and of course the ability to make it a sports sedan should you want that with the V6 or the SHO versions. So Ford has really made the Taurus look great, not just on the outside, but on the inside. They've given it everything it needs to, not just keep up with the competition, but in some cases, best them. I'm Drivin Ivan Katz.